are 4 different ways to produce income. And I want you guys to look at each one of these quadrants right here. And I want you to figure out where you are and where you want to be. Well, the first way to make money is that you can be an employee, right? Which means you have a J-O-B. Does everybody know what J-O-B stands for? Okay, just over broke, jerked out of bed. All right, you figure it out. But as an employee, you are trading time for money. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. I was an employee for many, many years, but the problem is that there's never enough time to make the kind of money that you want to make. Well, the second way to produce income is you can be self-employed, which means you own a JOB, right? Or that JOB actually owns you. But once again, you are trading time for money. The third way to produce income is you can be a business owner, which means you have a system. You have a system in place that creates money for you. And finally, the last way to produce income is you can be an investor. That means the money that you've already made is making money for you. Now, I want you guys to look at the screen, figure out where you are, and figure out where you want to be. Now, how many of you would rather be on the right side of the screen? Let me see your hands. Do I have everybody? Okay. Everybody wants to be on the right side of the screen, right? Everybody looks at this and says, yeah, I want to be a business owner. Yeah, I want to be an investor. I want the money that I make to make money for me. Yes, I absolutely want to be on the right side of the screen. I think we got 100% of the people here that said, yep, I want to be on the right side. Well, then somebody has to explain to me then why 95% of us are on the left. Guys, everybody wants to be on the right side, but 95% of us are on the left. That means only 5% of the population are either business owners or they're investors. But the crazy thing about this little chart right here is that these 5%ers over here, they control 95% of the wealth. And that's why I got involved 35 years ago and said, I have got to quit exchanging time for money. I want to be in a situation where I'm in control and I don't want any limits on it. And if I'm a business owner and I have a system, I can go out there and I can create that type of control. Well, what I found was network marketing. I found this business. Now, I heard a great analogy today. Jay was talking to us about this certain thing here. He wasn't doing this 4-quadrant thing, but he talked about, people on the right side of this quadrant, basically. And I don't know if you guys invest in anything, all right? I don't know what you invest in, but Jay was talking about that he invests in commercial real estate. And Jay owns a 120 unit building. And Jay was talking about that. And he said, that's great. He goes, I've got 120 units that I can rent out. But he said, the building is only worth what the renters pay each month. He goes, I could have that building made of gold and I could have all the amenities, but the business is only worth, or the building is only worth what the renters are paying each month. And owning a business like that, owning a building like that, there are limitations. Because once the building's full, your income is capped. But in our business, using that same analogy, all you do is build another floor, or you build another wing, and you just keep adding on. Now, if you owned a building like that, and you had a bunch of renters, do you want a building that is full of people who pay on time, or do you want a building that's full of delinquent rent payers? Obviously, we want people to pay the rent. right? We want people to pay on time, because when people pay on time, the building gets even nicer because there's a cost of maintenance. And so we want people to pay the rent, and we want them to pay it on time. Well, our business, our Super Patch business, is on the right side of this quadrant. And we are what? We are business owners, and we have a system. You guys, we have a system. And our system is really, really simple. We want people who are not delinquent in paying their rent, right? We don't want to have to chase people every single month to get their auto ship and do this and get their order. No, we want people to follow the system. Now, here's our business system. The first thing we have to do is we have to purchase our business. It's $40. It's $40. Then we have to go out and we have to get some product. Because there's no way that you can talk about this technology without having the product with you. Then you need to set up your smart chip. And you need to set up your smart chip with the buy 3, get 1 free. Okay, that's part of your rent. And then also in our system, purchase the CapEx program tokens every month. Do it. It's part of our compensation plan. So when you look at the smart chip, $135, the CapEx tokens about $100, that's $235 a month in rent that we pay to go build, which could be a multi-million-dollar business. Okay? Now, last thing, and you guys always hear me harping about the CapEx program. September 15th is when the infomercials start for the CapEx program. September 15th. The world is going to know about the Super Patch Company, and all of that is being filtered into the CapEx program and the tokens. So make sure that you guys pay your rent. Don't be delinquent. Smart chip, buy 3, get 1 free. If you don't have that, go set it up. And then I want you to change your mindset. I want you to think vice president, senior associate, team leader, director, managing director. Those are all stepping stones to get to vice president. And I don't want you to go, yeah, but Steve, why don't you tell us to think about regional? Why don't you tell us to think about president? Why don't you tell us about national vice president? It's like, no, because once you get to vice president, you'll do that on your own. I don't have to tell you that. I don't have to tell you that. You'll figure out a way to get to regional from there. But I want you guys to have the mindset that says, I'm going to get to vice president. You're like, okay, how am I supposed to do that? Well, you got to make sure that you pay the rent. And this is what I want you to do, is I want you to go bring a new person in or find somebody in your group that is willing to work, okay? And I want you to grab that person. This is that new person right here. And I want you to help them bring 3 people into the business and help those 3 people bring in their 3 people. So in other words, you brought in these 3 people. So you just earned this, this person right here just earned their hat trick bonus. I want you to help these 3 people earn their hat trick bonus. And then these people are going to help their people each bring in 3. So it's 3 who get 3 who get 3. That's what I want you to think. And that's 39 people, you guys. Right? With this person right here, it's 40. So that's 40 new people in your group, of which you worked with 1. If everybody comes in with the Flex 40 kit, you just created about $52,000 worth of volume. Yeah, but Steve, I need $100,000 for vice president. Go work with 2 people. Go find 2 people. Go create this little diagram twice. That's 80 total new associates in your group, of which you were responsible for how many? 2. 2. And then you helped each one of these people bring in their 3 and they duplicated and duplicated. That's 40 people here, 40 people here, 80 new associates. They all come in with the Flex 40 kit of $12.99. Why? Because that's part of the rent to get in this business. You just generated $103,920 worth of volume. And that's not even counting the CapEx program. If every single person participated in the CapEx program for that particular month, or the next month, let's say, because they have to be on SmartShip one month and they get it the next month, that's another $8,000 in volume. Guys, the CapEx program counts towards your promotion. So I don't want you guys to sit back and go, well, gosh, how am I going to get to vice president? It's like, I got to have so X amount of people who just, it's like, no, go get one or two here. Go get two. Help these people get three, who get three, who get three. And just map it out. Okay? And I get this question all the time. People say, well, yeah, but Steve, how do you know who to work with? I work with the people who are willing. I work with the people who want this business. I work with people who have the desire to go get to the next level. That's where I spend my time. Those are the people that you definitely want to find in your organization. So guys, just to wrap this thing up, we're business owners. We're on the right side of that quadrant. But we have to buy our business. We have to get some product. We've got to pay rent every single month. We've got to have our product every single month, the CapEx program and our SmartShip, and have the mindset that says, I'm going to go generate $100,000 in volume. I'm going to go get $100,000 in volume. How do I do that? Go get a couple of people, help them get three, who get three, who get three. That's it. You just added 80 new people to your group, and you brought in 2. That is the beauty of what we do.